What's going on? It's your boy Yo Scruggs, OS Sports Podcast. Let's talk about it. Once again, we not talking sports. Even though I'm going to do a video within the next few days covering the NBA, Major League Baseball, and hockey. And some NFL too, but we'll get to that later. There's something going on that I have a problem with. But the grand scheme of things is, why doesn't the black community stick together more? So we all know everything that's going on. There are videos on it. I'm sure y'all have seen a million videos in the news, and we all know what's going on. But I woke up this morning. Well, actually, I was already awake since I work overnight. But I woke up to hearing about, and forgive me if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, Olu Toya, who was one of the young leaders of Black Lives Matter movement, was found killed. Well, body was found, and allegedly, I guess I have to say, she was murdered. And there was some tweets that came out saying that she described it as a black man. Now, that's it. I don't want to get into a whole conspiracy about that, but that just seems fishy to me that she would send out a tweet expressing that it was a black man. That ain't sitting right with me. That sound like a setup. Just call me crazy. That sound like somebody took that young lady's phone and tried to put that out there in the atmosphere before killing her, unfortunately. But try to pin it on a black man to bring separation, even more separation between the movement that's going on with overall black people being treated better and getting more civil rights. So I say all that to say this. One of the main, I'll give you an example. I've been working with kids for 18 years, and I don't work with kids or the youth and all types of matters, from being a case manager, going to the kids' houses, dealing with the kids being abused, dealing with kids on drugs, parents on drugs that abuse their kids. Worked at the group home with kids that are autistic, behavioral health issues. I worked at the juvenile prison, with kids that have been locked up for armed robbery, strong arm robbery, murder, rape, etc. And I've also worked with the LGBTQ community. Now, I got to shout out the LGBTQ community from this aspect, where me not being LGBTQ, so from the outside looking in, before I started working with LGBTQ youth, from the outside looking in, I would assume they were all on one accord. Everybody agreed. Everybody had the same goal. Everything was on point and moving in the same direction. And that's why, a big reason why they were able to get a lot of laws passed, gay marriage, making it basically a hate crime. Even today with something that came out with the Supreme Court where you can't, I forget the exact thing it was, but I know it was something saying that you can't discriminate on someone because they're LGBTQ. But once I started working with them, what I realized is, okay, not everybody's on the same accord. Sometimes, the L may have problems with the B may have problems with the Q may have problems with the T. But you don't know that until you're on the inside. But from the outside looking in, they make sure, we all got a similar goal, so we got to be together on this, and we can't let the outside know what's going on. It's kind of like one of the 48 laws of power. I don't know if anybody's read that. You kind of want to conceal your intentions. And I like to see that more with the black community, because we all need to have the same goal, but we want equal rights and to be treated fairly as black people. But we air our grievances about each other out in a public forum too much, whether it's social media, whether it's the radio, CNN, TV, whatever. And I think we got to present a more united front to the masses, even though we might be dealing with our own issues within inside our own community, if that makes sense. Because you can't let the enemy can't let the enemy see exactly what you're doing, because as soon as the enemy sees, oh, are they trying to move to get these rights? They trying to move to be viewed equally, but they can't even get it together themselves. So why should we respect it? Get out of here. That's why you got to present a united front and not let them know everything that's going on within our own community. You dig what I'm saying? Am I articulating that properly? Is that making sense? And it's not gonna be a long video. And the reason I came to that is because I've seen it actually before this young lady Toya passed, but I really seen it today where a lot of black women are calling out black men, saying that we don't take up for black women, we don't protect black women. Now, maybe it's something I missed, because I defend black women. I got the utmost respect for black women. And anybody that talks to me, they'll know one of the main things I always say is black women are the most disrespected because they're black and they're women, two groups that are usually held back, by men, mostly white men. Let's keep it real. But me personally, I got my mom, my cousins, my niece, plenty of women I've dated, all black women. So all I can say is I never knew this was an issue where they were saying, the issue was this big where they were saying that black men don't stick up for black women. If that is an issue, let's keep that in-house. Let's stop letting everybody else out there, all the other races and genders or whatever, let's stop letting them know that this is an issue that's going on in our house. We got to fix that in our house, and keep that between us so they can't continue to use that to divide us. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So if that's something that black men had to step up and do a better job at, hey, I'm all for it, but let's start the dialogue within our own house. And I don't want this dialogue to be started out in a public forum. So those that are against us are just looking at it like, oh, look, see, we got another chink in their armor. Let's use that against them. Because trust me, that's what they're going to do. Your enemies are going to find a chink in your armor and they're going to use that weakness against you. So black women, if this is an issue where we not stepping up to the plate enough for y'all overall, I'm fine with y'all checking us. Keep checking us. Keep letting us know what we need to do a better job at. But let's stop putting that on Twitter. Let's stop putting that everywhere on Instagram. And let's not go on TV saying that. Let's keep that in our own community, in our own forum, in our own media. And let's fix that problem from the inside so they don't continue to use as much ammo, as many things as they can against us, because they already, all they do is bring up a black on black crime, like I said before, as if there's never Asian or Asian crime, there's never white on white crime. People do crime to people that's near them. So don't get the fuck out of here with that whole black on black crime. Like ours is that huge of an issue that it needs its own lane. It needs its own lane separated from crime that other people do against people that are the same culture or ethnic background. So that's my message to black women. If black men need to step up, which but of course I knew this is an issue, I just didn't know it was an issue on this grand of a scale. I didn't know that so many black women felt that as a whole black men didn't step up for them. So if that's the issue, y'all say this, let's correct that, but let's correct that in-house. One thing I will say that I've always known is definitely too many single black mothers, and that's a problem. Like I grew up, my dad, even though my parents separated when I was young, my dad was always in my life, and I think that sets an example for when you have kids. If your parents are in your life, I believe when you have kids, you're more likely to be in your children's life and to continue that positive cycle, because the negative cycle was out there as well. So I just wanted to say that black women, check us. I'm all for it, but let's check us in-house. Stop telling the public, them other people out there, you know what I mean? I don't even want to say who they are, but them people that ain't got the melanin like us. Let's keep that in-house and let's get this problem situated. Please leave a message. What's your view? What do you think about this? It's your boy, Scruggs. Peace.